My parents gave me an ultimatum. Either I break up with my boyfriend of 2 years, or I lose everything. They thought they had finally broken me, that I'd crumble under their control. But what they didn't know is that their twisted idea of love just lit a fire under me. And in just a few short hours, I was about to walk out of that house and never look back. Honestly, it feels crazy to even be telling you this. Sitting here in my childhood bedroom, phone brightness all the way down so my mom doesn't see the light under the door. It's almost midnight. In about 4 hours, my life changes forever. I know that sounds dramatic, but trust me, I'm not some teenager sneaking out because I got grounded. I'm 23 years old. I've got a degree. I had my own apartment until 6 weeks ago when my parents basically strong-armed me into moving back home. And I was stupid enough to think I could actually reason with them. So, let me rewind a bit and tell you how I got here. I've been with Gabriel for almost 2 years now. We met through my high school friend, Bridget. She kept telling me about this guy she worked with, swore we'd hit it off. I kept blowing her off, though. Not really looking for anything serious, you know? But Bridget persisted, and eventually I was like, fine, give him my number, whatever. He texted me that same night. We talked for 3 hours straight. Then we talked every single day for 2 weeks before we even met in person. By our first actual date, I was already in deep. This man understood me in a way that was almost scary. I know that sounds like a low bar, but in my family, that kind of attention just doesn't exist. My parents? They've never once asked me what I wanted. It was always about what they wanted from me, what looked good, what made sense to them, what fit into their perfect little vision of who their daughter should be. Gabriel was the first person who ever made me feel like my opinions mattered, like I was allowed to want things for myself. So, we were almost 2 years in, and for most of that time, my parents had no idea he even existed. I know it sounds bad, but you have to understand my parents. They have an opinion about everything. Every single choice I've ever made, picked apart, criticized, analyzed, until I just stopped telling them anything. It was easier to let them believe whatever they wanted about my life while I lived a completely different one. I told them I was living alone. I told them I was focused on my career. I told them I wasn't interested in dating because I wanted to be independent first. And they just ate it up because that's what they wanted to hear. Meanwhile, Gabriel and I were planning our future, talking about moving somewhere with a lower cost of living, maybe getting a dog, building an actual life together. Then came the problem. My mom is pathologically nosy. She needs to know everything about everyone all the time. About 3 months ago, she decided to surprise visit my apartment on a random afternoon. I wasn't home. Gabriel was. He answered the door thinking it was the maintenance guy, and instead, it was my mother, standing there with a casserole dish and a look on her face like she'd just caught him robbing the place. Gabriel called me immediately, obviously panicking. I remember standing in the parking lot outside, feeling like the ground was opening up beneath me. Not because I was ashamed of Gabriel. Never that. But because I knew what was coming. I knew my parents were going to turn this into something huge, ugly, and exhausting. And I was right. My mom didn't even wait for me to get home. By the time I walked through the door, she had already called my dad. They were both sitting in my living room like they owned the place. Gabriel had left, honestly,